The Propcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Real money printing sports. Kalshi is available in every state. $20 for free. Sign up with the code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. And welcome, everyone, to the Propcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. Currently Monday afternoon, February 23rd, around noon p.m. Eastern. I'm Reichel, joined again by Adam Rosenberg. Together, we're going to break down some baseball. We have the regular season starting in about, a month at this point. So we're going to go through some overall player props that we like for the entire regular season. Adam, how's it going with you? What's up?
Same situation as you, man. We got blizzard going on outside.
Yeah, not the fun Dairy Queen kind, like the actual blizzard kind, which is not fun. But yeah, either way, I'm basically locked inside my house, so it is what it is. Either way, we're going to talk about some baseball. Should be fun. The format's going to be the same. The only difference is we're giving out player prop futures, basically, for the entire season. But we're going to be doing 3 props each, then maybe some miscellaneous. And the fun part, Underdog does have season-long entry opportunities, so we're going to go through a couple of once again, options there. So keep an eye out for that at the end of the show. We're going to build some entries, so keep that in mind. So, Adam, before we officially get started, anything you want to add?
No, I'm ready to do this. You know baseball's our thing, man, so I'm excited to do it.
Yep, looking forward to it. Before we get into any of our actual season-long props, though, a reminder that we have an app now for SGPN, free in the App Store. So if you're tired of going through Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, you can find all of our podcasts in one easy location. Check out the SGPN app, free to download in the App Store. So moving on into our props for the upcoming season. Adam, what is going to be your first player prop for the upcoming season?
So, guys, I'm going to share, I don't know if it is here, but I'm going to do an unauthorized share of a screen here as we
I don't think it's unauthorized when you literally asked me before we went on the air, but it's fine.
I asked you, but I didn't ask Sean, but whatever. I mean, Sean is here. All right, everybody here uses this. It's fine. It's my handicraft site. But look, here's what we're going to go with. I'm going to get this higher. Luke Keichel. Did you know that there's a guy on the Twins not named Byron Buxton that we might want to back day to day?
He was the only guy I actually liked the back half of last year when they started.
He was great. Dude, 55 hits and 207 plate appearances. So if he gets about 600 or if he gets 600, this should objectively get him to 140, 150 hits. But I want people to also look at his numbers because he also had this in the minors, but he had like really low K rate, really high walk rate. This could change. I'm not worried about that, but his contact rate is excellent. His outside swing, avoiding stuff on the outside is excellent. It's always been that way. This Twins team, I think, is going to stink. But the bet that we're going to go with, so 130 hits for him is even money. That's fine. I don't know how much I love locking it up for his year, but that's fine. You could do that. But I think that what we're going to do is what we're going to give out that's official for the show is plus 205 Luke Keichel to get 140 hits, which I think is extremely doable. He's projected to have about 128, 129. So like, I think that having this at over 2-1 is well within the realm of what he's capable of. It's not something that's, people aren't able to do. He bats. Let me just see where he bats. I believe he's going to be batting at least second, to my understanding.
Yeah, he'll definitely be in the top half of the order.
Yeah, he's going to bat 3rd or 4th is what they had him as for last year. So he'll get those at bats. Again, I think that he is an outstanding contact hitter across the board. You can see those metrics and stuff right here. Give me Luke Keichel, 140 hits plus 205 for one of our season longs.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the team should stink. That's a good thing because he's a young player, so there's no reason to actually demote him or anything. Just let him trial by fire. Figure it out. So, yeah, the Twins being terrible and potentially losing 100 games is actually good for a young player and just his ability to do whatever he wants in a developmental stage of his career. But I agree. He was very solid last year, solid contact numbers, as you mentioned. And I do think that plus 2, I think you said 210 is a good price.
205.
So, 205.
So it's even money for him to have 130, but for him to have 10 more hits.
Yeah,
is 2-1. I think that's kind of nuts. Like if you like someone to get 130 hits and you think that they project as a really good contact hitter, I think go to the moon on those bands.
No, I get it. It's a good price. For my first guy, I'm going to go with a young player who kind of fell apart at the end of last year, but this number is way too low. Give me James Wood over 23.5 home runs, which I found on, I believe it was FanDuel that had 23.5. It might have been Caesars, but either way, I do like the over 23.5 home runs at -115. So Wood had 31 homers last year. He only had 7 after the All-Star break. Now, according to him, he has been working a lot in the offseason to try to fix the strikeout issue. I'm not saying he's going to suddenly never strike out, but if he can even limit that rate somewhat, I think he's in a good opportunity. But he still went over last year. You're looking at a guy who, according to Baseball Savant, it just has insane power numbers. 98th percentile for hard hit rate, 94th percentile for barrel rate. Like you just said for Keishel, this team should not be very good. So I think Wood should get a lot of opportunities once this team is kind of in the basement for the back half of the year. But 23.5 home runs for a guy that might have the most power in the entire league, he's definitely on a short list. He has a ton of power. I think this number is insanely low. So I think it's a bit of an overcorrection to the bad half that he had last year to end the season. He had 24 home runs in the first half last season. So pre-All-Star break, he cashed this over. I think this number is insanely low. Give me James Wood over 23.5 home runs at -115.
I love it. Sorry for typing there. I was just checking the work thing. I love that. I completely agree with you on this entire cap. I think that he had a historic fall apart the second half of the year. I actually, and you do, if you listen to Dad's Bet Baseball here, I'll pull them up also. I'll pull this up just so people can see how good. We have a home run forecast filter in here, and James Wood is on that list because everything he did except for the Ks was outstanding. He still had 118 max EV. His barrel rate's elite. This is not a list of everybody, but this is a list of all the people that you definitely want. And so anyway, my point is, you and I took him for 35 home runs at 4-1. We thought that was pretty much a steal early on. Definitely agree with you taking it on this one.
Yeah, 35-1. I mean, 35 home runs I think is definitely realistic, assuming he does cut back on the strikeouts. But 23.5 conceptually as a baseline is absurd for this guy. So give me the over for him there. Moving on into your second player prop future. What do you like?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. It's all good.
They're happy. Okay, sorry. So my second one, similar to that first. So I really like. So again, I want to just stress, like, I really like that Wood play. I think it's almost like a buy low on him, because people just remember him being a joke the second half.
Once again, he had 24 in the first half last season,
right?
Which is
I think if he also develop, he also doesn't have a good pull rate, and if he gets a good pull rate, he's gonna match.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, Jackson Merrill is who I'm going to go with. So Jackson Merrill had 16 home runs last year. I'm going to go with his over 22.5 home runs as a play. I do like a little bit of a sprinkle on 30 home runs. I think it's plus 205. By the way, guys, you're going to see a lot of people that say, all these guys hit 30 home runs. Do you know how many guys hit 30 home runs last year, Scott?
Well, Merrill missed a bunch of games, so I'm going to say 8.
Well, wait, no. How many people in Major League Baseball had? You think only 8 people had 30 home runs?
Oh no, I didn't think. I thought you were asking.
Yeah, how many? No. How many people had?
How
many people had 30 home runs in the entire season? You think?
I have to think about that for a second. I'm gonna bump it up to like 14.
A little bit higher, only 28, which is 3% of the entire MLB. So when you see all these people saying, oh, so-and-so's got to be so-and-so's going to hit 30 home runs, 30 home runs. A lot of guys don't hit 30 home runs. So just understand that when you see every Twitter capper on it. But I think that Merrill can at least get over 22.5. Like you said, he missed a ton of games the year before that year. He was pretty elite his rookie year too. He had 24 that year. I think this is just like way too much of a drop off because he still hits sweet spots really well. And if you look, his expected batting average should have been better. His expected slugging was bonkers. His hard hit rate, this is all stuff that you want. Max EV is a little bit lower than we thought, but like, cause you want that to be like 111 or higher. We could pass him for 110 in mine, but I like Jackson Merrill. All of these, by the way, just so folks know, season longs, I like to do like on a base like this. I like to do a 1.5 unit because you're locking it up for a couple months. The plus money ones I'll do for a full unit, but something like this, something like Scott's, I'll do 1.5 units because if you're going to wait that long for something, might as well like make it a little bit worth it, right? So anyway,
what was the number again on Merrill?
22.5.
Okay. I am going to point out, by the way, that there are a couple ways to get there. He only had 24 while playing a full 156 in a great rookie season.
As a rookie.
Yeah, that got him paid a ton of money. Last year, he was not very good. He also got injured. He missed basically 50 games. So there's a couple ways to get there. Either he gets injured again, or once again, pitchers made the adjustment against him from that rookie season, and he ends up having a bit of a struggle. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it is a pretty high number. I
think it's achievable number. I don't think it's too high for him. I think that he can. I mean, to be clear, like I think that he has a 99 percentile rating for a sweet spot, and his barrel rate is in the upper 82%. And his rookie year, all those things were in the 90%. And last year he was hurt. I
was going to say it might seem a bit high because of the injury from last year, but even with him missing about 50 games, he still got the 16. He's still had a decent home run output for a guy that only played in 115 games.
So it might seem a bit high.
So it might seem a bit high, but once again, he had some injuries last year. He got to 24 in his rookie season. I think that once again, it's an achievable number for Merrill here. He doesn't need to have a monster home run performance.
He doesn't have to have a monster home run here. Just get him to. I think it's fun to bet him for the 2-1 for 30. I don't think that that's a bet for us. I mean, maybe in a parlay, but I think the 22.5 is too low for him. Just like I think the 24.5 for Wood. I
found 23.5 on Wood.
Yeah, I think that's just too low.
So there you go. Anything else you want to add for Merrill?
Not for Merrill, no.
Cool. So before we get into the other props that we have for the season, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, Kalshi. It's a real money prediction market available in every state. Tons of trading options for your favorite sports. Besides sports, they also have markets like politics, entertainment, and even the weather. And if you're new to Kalshi, get $20 when you sign up with the code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, code SGPN for free $20 to sign up at Kalshi. We're also brought to you by Rhythms. Rhythms been on a heater recently for college and for the NBA. Check them out for model building, build your own from scratch, use the leaderboard system, or you can also use the Rhythm house models to give you plays directly. But if you're new to the actual platform and you want to go premium with a membership, use the code SGPN25. We download the app, get a nice 25% off your first month. That's Rhythm, RATHMM, code SGPN25 for a quarter of the first month at Rhythm. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Finished going through our first couple of props that we have for the upcoming MLB season. Time to move on into my second prop for the show. I'm going to go with Ketel Marte, and as you know, I assume he gets injured every season. I will put my money where my mouth is. Give me Ketel Marte under 84.5 RBIs at minus 130. Marte has only had more than 73 RBIs once in the past 6 seasons. And on top of that, I said a second ago, he's injured all the time. He's played less than 138 games in 5 of the past 6 seasons. He's never healthy. I acknowledge he's a very solid player. But if you're going to give me a number in the 80s and you're assuming he misses at least 20 games in every season, I am simply going to take the under. I think you're looking at a guy who, once again, has only gone over 73 RBIs once in the past 6 seasons. I get Arizona might be better this season, but I don't see Marte suddenly getting healthier with a better supporting cast around him in theory. I'm going with the under. I think Marte probably misses at least 20 games again because why not? That's what I'm kind of expecting every season from him. It's a high number. Give me the under 84.5 RBIs at minus 130.
Yep. I like it. I just don't think this is lined up. I'm not high on the D-backs. To have RBIs, you got to get guys on base. I don't think it's going to happen a lot.
Yeah, I think once again, you mentioned you're not high in Arizona anyway, so there is a chance maybe if he ends up getting slightly banged up, maybe they shut him down at the end of the season. But either way, look, I like Marte. I think he's a solid overall player. But injury history is injury history. I'm not going to suddenly pretend you're going to stay healthy for a season when all of the data and history suggests you're kind of a ticking time bomb. That's how I look at it. So I'm on the Marte under 84.5 RBIs. That is on Caesars. Moving on to your next play. What do you like?
My next play, I'm going to go with another guy that I like for a hits bet. Let me just go through this. It's Brendan Donovan went over to the Mariners. I thought it was one of the better pickups of the season. And he's just a absolute beast on the contact hitting. You can see his ISO is really low, but you can also see he doesn't strike out. His hard hit's good because he's just putting the ball in play. I like Brendan Donovan for, let me just look and confirm what I wanted here. 150 hits is what I wanted for him, and I want that at plus 195. You can do even money for 140 hits. That's fine. I would rather do, I'm just looking up just where he was on some of these things last year. But like he was on a dog shit Cardinals team and he still continued his ball. He had 130 hits, 163 2 years ago. Yeah, by the way, he had 130 hits in 118 games last year. So 150 is very, very doable for him. Like I said, he had 160 and 150 games a year before. I think that this is a good, like this Mariners lineup, and this is a great ballpark for him to be doing his thing in. He's a great contact hitter. So yeah, almost 2-1 for, Brendan Donovan, 150 hits.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned a second ago that he was a solid pickup. We think that he's a solid overall player. I'm happy he can play meaningful baseball again because the Cardinals stink. So at least he's going to be on a winning team for once, which is nice to see. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at the overall numbers on the screen here. The low K rate helps a lot, obviously. Makes a lot of contact, good overall player. I definitely like the overall number there. Moving on into my final play. This one's going to be a doozy, but I know you like it. But it's going to be full contrarian. Yes, I know that the guy is arguably the best pitcher in the entire league. But this strikeout number is massive, and I'm going to make an argument for the under. I'm going to go with Skubal. I'm going to take his under 237 and a half strikeouts at minus 130. Now, first of all, this is on Caesars. For reference, I saw Bet Rivers posted his strikeouts at 219 and a half. So I'm getting an extra 18 strikeouts of cushion just by shopping around for the under, which I'll gladly do. Once again, shop your lines for futures because this is a massive gap between this and Bet Rivers. Now, Skubal, I will point out, last season was the first time he ever recorded more than 229 strikeouts, despite being an absolute demon. First time he's ever done it. Now, last season, Skubal, including the playoffs, did pitch 216 innings. He had 211 the year prior, and he only had 228 strikeouts. But the point is, we know that the Tigers used Skubal a ton at the end of last season in the postseason. I can expect Detroit, barring a massive division collapse like we saw last year, they will definitely let him coast into the playoffs because they need him to go crazy in the postseason. So there is a chance there's a little bit of a load management period in the back half if Detroit is going to be quite good in what we think might be an improved AL Central, but by no means a good division. I do think the Tigers could definitely ease the workload for Skubal in preparation for the playoffs. But you're looking at, once again, a massive line differential of about 18 strikeouts. He's only gone over 229 one time in his entire career. 237 and a half is just an absurd number for a guy that may end up getting load managed in preparation for the postseason. I'm on the under. I think this number is way too high. Give me Skubal under 237 and a half strikeouts.
So I agree. I think there's a couple ways that it gets there. I'm not as down on him as Joe is that he's going to have an injury.
Well, once again, if you end up getting an injury, you basically automatically win. But that's a whole separate point.
Yeah, that's not what I'm kind of
either. But that is
like,
a fail-safe. If there is an injury, then you're in great position.
Well, the reasons why I like it is because like he's pitching for the he's pitching for Team USA, so they'll pull back. But also, he signed his 1 year for a arbitration deal. There's no guarantee he may even be on the team in July. And he's not as good of a source if they don't they might trade him. There's a lot of things he might walk. Like there's a lot of stuff with that. It's a monster
that's a separate thing too, because if they want to trade him, they could load manage him to keep him healthy for a trade, which is technically another possibility. But
yep, I agree.
Yeah, I love Skubal. I think he's the best pitcher in the league, but I have to at least point out it's a massive strikeout number for a guy who I think you'd agree with Detroit, assuming they did not collapse last year and they weren't suddenly in a dogfight with the Guardians for the division. They probably would have sat him for a couple of starts or load managed him, right? I mean, they knew going to the playoffs he was going to have to throw 100-plus pitches in every outing, right? I mean, I'm assuming towards the end of the season
a little bit of different.
Yeah. Any
situation.
thoughts that you have for Detroit this season? Because I think they'll be fine.
I think they'll be fine. I'm obviously higher on a team in that division that everyone's really low on. I'm really high on the White Sox. But I'm not nearly as high on the Royals as everybody is. I think Detroit's going to be fine. I think that it's a good ballpark for all their pitchers. I think that I like their young guys and stuff too. It's the Central, so it's kind of weird. But again, to your point, like there's weird things that go around that like Skubal feasts on bad teams. Like I don't think anybody should be denying that Therese Skubal is the best pitcher.
It's either him or Skeens. I would go for Skubal because I've actually seen him in the postseason.
Yeah. I mean, I think Skeens, it's a little bit.
They're both 1A, 1B.
Arguably,
they're both fantastic.
Yeah, 1A, 1B. Completely agree. But I do think that I think that there's just a lot of ways that this doesn't. There's a lot of ways unders don't get there on guys like this. I think it's a good idea. 237 is just an insane.
Once again, I love Skubal, and there are going to be a couple of games where he ends up having like 12, 13 strikeouts. I get it. No offense, he's also not Randy Johnson. So I'm not picking him to just walk into 240 Ks like it's nothing. So give me the under. He's gone over this number one time in his career. I'll dare him to do it again. Anyway, any miscellaneous stuff, any things that you once again bet personally, but you did not want to share as your top three?
Yeah, Yamamoto under 200.
Yeah, and that was a similar logic, except there was an even longer postseason run.
It's an even longer. Yeah, he had 37 innings in the postseason. And the Dodgers have said they want these guys for the postseason. So yeah, I think that's he would have to have 10 and a half to do this. I don't like that one at all. There's a lot. There's some other ones I think we can kind of dig onto some of these underdogs and find a couple season long. I really don't like it. He almost made your card. I didn't like it. I like Cody Bellinger under his home runs.
I want to hear that argument, by the way.
The argument, I'll show it to you.
Because I was initially considering the over, but then you talked me out of it. But I was just curious what exactly your reasoning was.
So what my reasoning is this. So his BABIP's actually really low, which indicates that, first of all, he's off a career year. So I'm never taking a guy. I'm not going to take a guy's over home runs off a career year. Just not going to happen. But the other things that are pretty concerning, this is exceptionally
for the record, AL career year, because he had 47 homers back in 2019. But yes,
right. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is an exceptionally high barrel rate or low barrel rate, and this is an exceptionally high outside swing rate. Like his outside swing stuff was still not good. And I don't. Again, like. I don't like his BABIP. A lot of his expected stuff is actually a lot lower than it should be. He's one of the guys on the Yankees that I am going to kind of sell high on. I don't like for me on home runs specifically. It's another reason why I have like Altuve is also in this. Like just to give you an idea, like he has basically the same barrel rate as Jose Altuve, and the same and Altuve has a higher max EV. These are parks at similar dimensions, and these are kind of the prototype the exact same way. These are both two guys that I want their under in their home runs when they're in the 20s. This doesn't, to me, these are just kind of might be like 19 or 20 home runs, but he's not a 24, 25 home run guy to me with a barrel rate that low.
Yeah, I do think it's probably not a great sign for Altuve when he ends up not getting injury insurance on his coverage, which might cause him to miss the WBC. That's probably not a good sign for his potential to stay healthy for the upcoming season. Not to mention, of course, he's definitely getting older, and we tend to see a decline in there in general. Yeah, Altuve is a guy who I also thought about fading. I know that you definitely, I'd say, fully convinced me. I was going to take it anyway. But yeah, what was the number again for his home runs?
22 and a half. They're both like 22 and a half, 23 and a half. They just fit in this. So I have a whole filter that I made on Handigraphs that's like, basically it's guys that like had 18 or more home runs. Like if your barrel rate is less than 10, you aren't that doesn't telegraph as a home run, as 20 plus home runs. Like this is just math on it. Look, Bregman's under home runs is one of the ones I absolutely want in our season long. Especially
I like that one too.
Like
Bregman almost
right. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. But look, guys, like these are not. I think Betts is a little interesting case because he was very hurt last year. Perdoma's an interesting case because I don't know what we're
Wasn't he
getting with
occasionally
him.
bad in the 9 spot though for some reason for Arizona?
Well, we don't even know. He had just a monster
and they
year
kept him in the
last
9
year.
spot, so I don't even know. But whatever.
Yeah, and it's just like yes. So Sports Side Jacobs points out I basically made a filter for you got lucky, and like I mean like I know we love Jose Ramirez and everybody wants him for 30 home runs, but the reality situation is he's older now. He's and his bat speed has gone down. I think he's going to still hit well. I don't think he's going to hit a ton of home runs, but like a lot of these guys are on this list that like are like Bryce Terang's a StatCast hero, man. So what I generally want to do is I want to like make sure like someone like Bregman is like firmly in there. I think
we're definitely going to mention Bregman later on in the show. So
yeah, and like it's also if you can get guys, Brandon Nimmo is another one that I love because like look, his Brandon Nimmo is one of the ones that I like too because if you look at his walk rate's so high and he leads off that's going to take away home run potential for him. But Bregman, I'm going to be betting straight under, and you and I should have. I think that should make our.
It works for me. I will add, by the way, to Altuve, he did have 26 last year, but before that, he had 20 and 17. So he had gone under in 2 of the last 3. Injuries play a factor as well.
We have him. Well, I have an existing. You still have to go to New Jersey to bet this, but I have an existing one. I have a Altuve. Nimmo home run unders for the season, and I'm gonna do a second one, but I love this.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Anything else you want to add for miscellaneous?
Cool. No, not really.
So anyway, that is going to wrap it up for our props. If you want to, you can take down the handy grade. Actually, no, you can keep it up for Underdog because we'll probably end up using it. But a reminder that we are brought to you by our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. They've covered for pick'em entries for almost every single sport. Getting on in the action, went up to 5,000 times your entry. Plus, if you're new to the platform, we have a great sign-up deal courtesy of Underdog. So play just $5, $75 bonus funds. We sign up the promo code SGPN. We're also brought by Novig. So Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market and get some great prices there in Novig. We use them all the time on this show. Download the Novig app for $50 when you spend just $5 if you use the code SGPN to get on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the Propcast. Finish going through our season-long player props. Time to move on into the best bets. Adam, out of the 3 plays you gave out, what is going to be your best bet?
Probably that Merrill home run over. I really love. Actually, no. You know what? The Keishel cool. 140.
So for my,
I think that dude's got like future batting.
I think he's a solid overall player, and we saw that last year. For my best bet, it's either going to be Wood or going to be Skubal. I got to figure out which one I want to go with here. You know what? I'm going to do it for clickbait purposes. Give me Skubal under a 237.5 at -130. It's a massive number. I'll simply put, he's gone over this one time. You mentioned before he will be in the WBC, so there's a little bit of extra reps during the offseason, so to speak. I just think this number is way too high. I think Skubal will finish somewhere in the 220s. I think Detroit might ease him into the postseason as well, assuming they're not in a full playoff race. This number is massive. So give me the under on Skubal strikeouts at 237.5. I'm moving on to Underdog. So, Adam, what is going to be the first couple of options? I know that we said Bregman. Which do you want to go for?
So why don't we do, because it's a season long show one, why don't we make this, you want to make this?
I figured full unit each, but that's fine.
Yeah, I just don't want to have to, I want.
We'll go full unit.
I mean, I could do it. Yeah, we'll do it. So then let's do 2. Okay. See, sometimes they're up. So right now they're not up because because the games are about to start, but they'll have some this afternoon. Like they've had it, and it's been fine, and it's gone up. But I think that we should do a 2-banger. I think Bregman and then somebody else. We want to do Bregman and then James Wood over.
That's fine.
Okay, that's a
good.
We'll see what
the numbers Underdog has, but we think he can walk into 30 plus. So
I think he could walk into 30.
So it's fine.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
So cool. We will do that once it's up, guys. It'll do it. I'll do that. But yeah, that's a good one. By the way, to be clear, I did not take that other one for you. You have to take that one.
That's
yourself.
Fine. Okay. Cool. Anyway, anything else you want to add?
No. Appreciate us being able to do some handicap stuff for everybody. You guys can jump in, use it. We got hockey in there, and games come back Wednesday, where you and I are going to do a hockey show Wednesday. That'll be fun.
Should be fun.
USA won.
Gold medal.
Great moment for Jewish sports.
Hughes brothers.
Very. Would you argue top one Jewish sports moment?
Can we group in the women's goalie winning the gold medal for?
Yep.
If we group those, then sure.
Yeah. The two biggest Jewish sports moments are Aaron Frankel?
Yeah.
Aaron Frankel and Jack Hughes.
There you go. There you go. So once again, not many. It's the airplane bit. I have this leaflet, famous Jewish sports legends.
Famous Jewish sports legends? Yeah. I want some light reading. So how about this?
How about that leaflet? But let me actually check one thing, because I want to see if he was Jewish, but I actually don't know if he was.
Frankel. Sorry. Aaron Frankel. My bad.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly look up if Bill Mazeroski was Jewish. I don't think he was. So that last name does sound potentially like he is, but I don't think he was. RIP. But I had to look it up. So I don't believe Bill Mazeroski was Jewish, but wanted to point that out. Anyway, point is we're back once again for the Wednesday show, because we are going to be doing some NBA and NHL. Adam, before we officially end the show, though, can you just recap your 3 season-long plays one more time?
Yeah, my 3 season-long plays are going to be Brendan Donovan, 150 hits at.
I think you said it was 190.
190. Yeah, I have it in my.
Pretty sure 190.
So Luke Keeschel, 140 hits plus 205. Donovan plus 150 hits, 195. Okay. And then Jackson Merrill, over 22.5 home runs at minus 120.
Cool. Right? And my 3 plays: James Wood over 23.5 homers at minus 115, Ketel Marte under 84.5 RBIs at minus 130, and Skubal under 237.5 strikeouts at minus 130. Anyways, gonna wrap it up for the show. Till next time, find us on Twitter at Reichel Radio and at Hey Rosenberg. Check out the Propcast as well on Twitter at the Propcast SGPN. Once again, like, subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to check out the podcast on Spotify or Apple. So leave a rating and a review there. Jacob, assuming you're talking about Skubal, that was on Caesars, if you wanted to get that one. In fact, I believe all my plays were from Caesars. There you go. Anyway, till next time, good luck to all of you.
Haven't found a lot of places that had the other. I saw a couple that were on Camby, but yeah. Wait, you had they put the
Caesars had the high number for the strikeouts. Yeah, because I thought about 219.5, and then I saw that Caesars had 237.5. I'm like, that's just insane. So that's why I took it. But yeah, Caesars was the source of all 3 of my plays. So there you go. I know FanDuel also had some props as well. DraftKings.
Yeah, FanDuel's.
But DraftKings only had overs. They only had the plus. So if you want to go for unders, FanDuel and Caesars and Bet Rivers, which we are both limited on, either way, were the options. I see Jacob asking where you found the Donovan play. That was on Canby, I'm guessing?
DK.
That was DK. Okay, cool.
Those are DK.
Anyway, till next time, good luck to all of you, and I'll